Hey everybody, your roving reporters, Lee Sonoro and Father Bob White, back in Minnesota. Lee, how's the jet lag?
It's pretty rough. I'm really tired.
I'm right behind you, but we're loving it. Good to be back from Mass
Great to be
today.
back. Yep.
And so we went again to Florence, Siena, Assisi, Rome. What would you say about those places?
Yeah. Well, let's start with Florence. So we get there. We had Mass in. It's the biggest Franciscan church in the world, which is really cool. We didn't get to see it, but I was looking it up, and there's 3 really important people buried in that church. So we're going to need to go back and see it. But Dante,
our next trip,
yeah. Dante, Michelangelo, and Galileo are all buried in this Franciscan church.
I've heard of those guys,
right? Where we had Mass. So that was really special, and of course, seeing a lot of the art. It's the birthplace of the Renaissance. I could probably go the rest of my life without ever seeing a David statue again, but it was.
He was all over the place.
He was all over the place. Yeah, there were David statues everywhere. But it was really good, and the art was great. And I've loved studying the Renaissance in the past anyway. So being there in Florence was just really, really special, and the weather was absolutely perfect.
Beautiful,
so that was kind of our first couple of days.
Yep, and then came Siena.
Then came Siena. Catherine of Siena. She's my gal. She's one of my absolute favorites. So I was absolutely loving this. We had Mass in the Basilica of St. Catherine. In Siena, right when you get up, through that wall and everything else. There's a major relic of her there. Her head is there at that basilica. We got to see the square. We got to see this beautiful cathedral. I mean, that Siena Cathedral was incredible. They had a carving of every pope. Leading up to the most modern popes, It was just kind of lining the ceiling of this cathedral. The great thing about Siena was our guide from Siena was so passionate about his neighborhood and growing up in Siena. He was getting a little teary-eyed while he was talking to us. It was really neat. Yeah. So Siena was great. We weren't there for very long. We did not stay the night in Siena.
Just one day.
Just one day to have Mass there in the basilica, and then we took off to.
And we took to Assisi, beautiful.
Yeah, Assisi was beautiful. That's when
hillier than San Francisco. I've been to both.
A lot hillier than San Francisco, and yes, well, it was tough to walk up some of those hills. Actually, it was quite the trip, and I've got a couple of videos of us kind of walking up the hills that we'll show in this as well. But that was, I think, the first part of the trip where I relaxed a little bit because it's so quiet. Beautiful. It's so serene. It's beautiful.
They say safest city in the world.
I believe it.
Pickpocketers leave them behind.
I believe it, absolutely. Yeah. So we had a beautiful Mass there, not in a church. We had Mass there up in the mountains, out in the woods. Yeah, that was really special as well to see where St. Francis and his followers did a lot of their penance and prayer up in the mountains outside of Assisi, and that was absolutely wonderful. Of course, St. Clare is there as well in Assisi. One of the highlights of my trip was seeing St. Carlo Acutis. That was one of the coolest
Some of the
things.
people went back the next day.
Some twice. Yeah, that was really fantastic, and it's just such a moving place. And I think I mentioned this in the last video as well, or maybe I was just mentioning it to you as we were talking, that it just feels so, the energy there, so spiritual.
A lot of places, the churches, the shrines, you could feel energy.
Yeah.
And sacred places.
Sacred places. It was great, and again, blessed with fantastic weather. Couldn't beat it. Yeah, it was really good. So check out that video if you didn't watch, but we did a recap in Assisi. I think we might have done 2 of them actually, and it was really, really good. That was really fun. And then of course, so we kind of went from Florence to quiet Siena to quieter Assisi, and then we decided we were having enough of the quiet.
New York City, Rome.
So we headed to Rome. Yeah. It was great. So
right to St. Peter's Square right away.
Right to St. Peter's Square. We were able to on Sunday see the Regina Coeli done by Pope Leo XIV. So we got to see him live and in person while we were there in the square, and that was really special. I think the highlight of that in the first couple of days was having Mass in St. Peter's Basilica, underneath St. Peter's Basilica.
Great. Yeah.
That was incredible. Yeah. How about you? What was one of your highlights?
Well,
there?
I think being in the Sistine Chapel.
Oh, goodness.
Where they elect the Pope.
Yep.
But we had a special tour at night without the crowds. We could take our time. It's quiet.
Yep.
We looked out very,
We lucked
very
out.
fun.
That was amazing. Actually, probably one of my more special moments with you was when you and I were sitting in the Sistine Chapel, just kind of looking up at the ceiling and
Have
you
little
know,
pads leaning back. And,
right.
Wow.
And they let us in there. I don't know, maybe a half hour or so, and we're just staring up at this
Taking it all in.
beautiful. Yeah, just the beauty. The
Yeah.
beauty. It was fantastic. It was great touring ancient Rome as well. You know, we did the Colosseum, we did the Pantheon, we did the Forum. A lot of those major things that you would see as a tourist, but that was really special as well and bizarre. You know, you see this really modern city built on top of
And
this.
the Pantheon, the only time it rained, we got
Yeah.
we were in the epicenter of a rainstorm. It was kind of cool.
It was, and thank goodness we were inside. That was one of the only moments we did a tour inside of something, and that was when it was raining.
The circle lets the rain in, but the light in.
Yeah, yeah, that was really
Beautiful.
neat as well. So it was cool to see the history of the Trevi Fountain. Was a lot of fun. We, my kids and I got to drink some of the water, which I don't know if I'd suggest that for everybody, but we did it, and we said that we did it, and it was great. So
No ill effects.
no,
Why not?
not so far.
But-
I am tired. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
you know
why.
what? Yeah, I mean, you go through all those churches. They're kind of a blur for me, and it's not the jet lag. I mean, there were
Sure.
just so many. It was hard
We
to
just
keep
did
track.
so many. You know, we did St. Paul's outside the walls, which is a little bit outside of Rome, and we had another mass there, which was really special. So we had mass in the crypt of St. Peter's Basilica, where Peter is buried, just not too far away from where we were having mass. And then we had mass in a little side chapel of St. Paul outside the walls, where Paul is, you know, and his remains are. And what a special trip! I mean, just unbelievable.
Really good.
Yeah.
You know, Lee, being in Italy, it just makes a guy want to move, to strut.
Yeah.
You know, are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Let's
I mean,
do it.
kind of like, you know, boom, oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's Italy for me. Did I
That is
just
it.
make a fool of myself? or
I mean,
what?
it's fine.
Hey, folks, thanks for tuning in. We will see you soon with another something to film and talk about.
Absolutely. Thanks for subscribing. We have a lot more things in store with the parish, fun videos and building up some of our socials and YouTube. But thanks for those that were following us. I know that you were blessed, and we were blessed in being able to provide some of this content to you as well. You were always in our prayers in each of the masses, so...
No, it's just like a commercial.
It was. You
Beautiful.
liked it?
I mean,
Yeah,
let's
thanks.
put it up. Stay tuned. We got more coming up. Thanks.
Thank you.